Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today for a cherry on top to share with you this layout. It is created using the Simple Things collection from Pinkfresh Studio. So this is their last, hopefully for now, scrapbook collection. And yeah, so I have a that is not black, blue mat that I'm going to use to frame the layout. And I like the way that despite the fact that there isn't a lot of blue in the rest of the layout, the blue really pops these really bright colors. So I bought this piece of pattern paper and I absolutely loved it, but I wasn't sure how I was going to make it work. And then I saw Kat Benjamin fussy cut these flowers. So I am totally scrap lifting her idea and I'm going to fussy cut a few of these. And my thought is that I'm going to work on the diagonal and I'm going to frame the corners of the layout with some of these flowers. So if you follow my videos, you know that I work very strongly on design principles and I very much like to use a visual triangle. So I have 3 flowers on the idea that that is going to be the very dominant contrast to these photos. So there are 3 photos. One is whatever 4x3, it's like 4 by 5.33 or something like that. That's the larger sort of main photo. And then the other 2 smaller photos are step outs of the girls laughing after trying to do air kisses to my daughter. These are prom photos. Some of like literally 200 prom photos. So I thought the smaller photos, those are the step outs, weren't as stunning as the one of my daughter, just with the most genuine smile. And so I just made those a little bit smaller, but I did want to incorporate them. So I am going to warn you, you are going to see many, many renditions of this layout as I shuffle things around. I just couldn't make, so I have that orange card that you can see next to the main photo at the top left, and I love it, but it doesn't really go with the whimsy of this memo notepad with the tape on it. And I'm a very linear scrapper, and I will do things slightly askew, and I will do things that are not boxy and gritty. But mixing the two, the whimsy and the graphic, is very difficult for me. And that's in essence what this is. Sort of, these flowers are very whimsy, and yet framing it is very graphic, right? And so I struggle long and hard, and this is where you will see many renditions. And so I left a lot of this in just to show you that it doesn't come easy all the time, right? A lot of my videos are between 7 and 8 minutes long, and yes, they are sped up, but most of so on average, the average layout takes me about 20 minutes max to put together, even with the fussy cutting that I do. And this layout pre-edited, I'm 45, 50 minutes. And that was just the video that I put together. That wasn't even where I just stopped videoing because I was getting so frustrated with the whole process. So I have a couple of the die cuts. I have some of the chipboard pieces, and I have those letters. And so I didn't want a lot of other embellishment because these flowers are really bold, and it just needed more supplementary elements to the florals. And so I have this piece of pattern paper, and I'm like, surely I can use that and that'll pull it together. And I put it aside. And the reason that I'm pointing that out to you is because it does make a reappearance. But it's funny how, you know, they say when you're testing, go with your gut instinct, right? Go with your gut instinct. Certainly don't go with your gut instinct on this initial one. So frustrated. All right, I'm going to mat this main photo, and I love how the blue in the diagonal stripes is tied into the blue in the background now, and it really enhances the color of my daughter's dress. It's like this purpley bluey pink with the glitter and the shimmer. It's really cool, the different colors that it takes on. So that really pops the photo, really pops those flowers. And now, how am I going to do this? So you can see I've moved the flowers from the diagonal to flowers on the left-hand side. Nope, don't like that. Let's go back to the diagonal. And I really like the two smaller photos side by side instead of on a Whimsy, because I've got enough Whimsy in these giant flowers. Like, that's giant Whimsy, and so I need the graphic to kind of tone down the giant Whimsy. But now it's looking very boxy with a frame of Whimsy, and it would look okay like it is if I'd continued the flowers all the way around, but that was just not enough white space for me, and you know me, I like my white space. So I really like the green in there. The green needs to go with the green in the butterfly, sort of that bluey green. It's more green than blue. And so now I want a third piece, and I'm like, nope. Okay, I'm definitely going to need this piece of paper. And I decide to tear it because the tear adds to the Whimsy, which softens the graphic. And I really like it down the bottom, right there. Aha, right? You can hear the angels singing. So there's a moment, right? That's definitely got to happen with that down the bottom. Definitely with the pink florals, but how am I going to arrange this in such a way that I have somewhere to journal, as well as I just wanted to use a little bit more. I didn't want it to just be the florals, and it needed something to enhance it. So finally, look, yay, this is good. But I didn't like the third flower that I had, and I wanted a smaller flower to tuck in either to the top left corner or to the top left near those photos there. So I had that big corner photo, and I was like, nope, I'm going to just do part of a flower. I apologize. I'm just going to do part of a flower. Like, why can't I? It's mine, and I can choose what I want. So yay. But what bothered me and why I didn't do a partial flower before was because it had that full round circle, right? Whereas all the other partial flowers had sort of an oval. But I can make an oval by tucking it in behind the flower. And so now I've got that visual triangle of the flowers, and this is going to definitely be the format of what I'm going to do. I'm able to integrate that orange journal spot in, which I really wanted to be able to do. And I'm able to integrate this yellow to pull just a little bit more yellow. It matches the green grass that is behind that actually ends up sort of printing with more of a yellow hue to it. So finally, after a lot of shuffling, this is my ultimate plan. And so just definitely showing you that you don't always know how things are going to turn out, right? And sometimes it does just take moving things around to really find something that resonates for you. And it did. It took me a while. So off camera, I will show you at the end that I'm going to use the alphas. But off camera, I pull one of the puffy stickers from Vicki Boutin. It's no longer available at the store anymore. That says capture, and that's blue. And then I'm going to use one of the little blue hearts just to pull a tad more blue into the layout, because a lot of the blue stripe that is in that pattern paper that's framing the main photo ends up getting covered, and I just wanted a little bit more blue. And yes, there's trapped space between that main photo and the yellow journaling spot, but I knew I was going to put title there, and I knew I was going to fill that in. It was just a matter of how that was going to happen. That green heart there is not quite the same bluey green that's in the rest, so I'm actually going to pull that off. And then I'm going to use one of the phrases that says smile often, that's green, that pulls a little bit more green into it, as well as a heart, and you will see that in the close-ups that follow. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.